It's 12 o'clock. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Star Midday News. And coming up in the bulletin, special voting exercise underway in the western and eastern regions after the exercise was rescheduled from December 2 to today due to security breaches in the printing of the ballots for those regions.
I'm grateful that when we came here, it's calm and a lot of the soldiers have voted. Over 100 have voted this morning. And we hope that the rest, what's on our roads, about 400. So we expect all of them to be coming by the afternoon.
We will be live to our correspondents in these regions for the very latest. Office of the Special Prosecutor begins investigation into National Service Authority's alleged case of over 40,000 ghost names. And family of late Ibuakwa North MP JB Dankwaidu unhappy with outcome of trial following the 4-3 not guilty verdict by the jury.
Unfortunately, this is a sad day for the country and indeed for myself and my brother and my family.
And later on the campaign trail, we will touch base with the two leading political parties as they prepare to hold their final rallies today. And then also, we will be touching base with regard to the police as it deploys 2 helicopters and as added security in the Ashanti region. Details of these stories and many more coming up shortly. Do stay tuned in. Star News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, My Star Radio in the USA. Also live on Facebook on Star 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Star 103.5 FM. Star News. Informed, in depth, in touch. You're welcome once again to the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. And we'll start off with issues relating to the special voting exercise in the eastern and western region. Well, specifically the New Job in South constituency, where voting is taking place at the Callaway Regional Police Headquarters. The location hosts 2 polling stations, A and B, with a combined voter population of 1,017. Now, polling station A has some 509 registered voters, while polling station B has 508. Now, Eastern Regional correspondent Kojo Ansa has been monitoring the exercise and has come through with this report.
Well, so the special voting exercise in the Eastern region rescheduled from December 2nd to December 5th due to security breach is currently underway. Over 12,361 voters are expected to participate in today's exercise across the region. In New Dublin South constituency, where I'm currently monitoring the election, voting is taking place at Galloway Regional Police Headquarters. The location hosts 2 polling stations, A and B, with a combined voter population of 1,017. Polling station A has 509 registered voters, while polling station B has 508. The first vote was cast at exactly 7:02 a.m. By 7:39 a.m., 46 voters had cast their ballots at polling station A and 42 at polling station B. The process has been peaceful and efficient, with no report of disturbance. Election officials have implemented strict measures to prevent unauthorized activities, including banning voters from carrying bags into the voting booths and prohibiting the use of cameras to take pictures. Several voters have shared their experiences expressing satisfaction with the smooth conduct of the exercise.
Very simple, as usual. At first, when there was no like verification machine or devices and all of that, I have to go through a lot of processes. But now the nameless officer will just check and know where your position is. Just tell the verification officer, and then you just go through. Well, so far I've not seen any parliamentary candidate sharing the stuff. Let me put it that way, or sharing the food or water. Let me put it that way. So I think so far so good. I don't know whether we are yet to experience that thing here or not, but unless the due process come before you can determine whether they're going to do the same thing or they won't do the same thing.
6:35.
Have you gone through the process?
I have gone through the process voting for both the presidential and parliamentary. It's been a smooth and fast process so far. Oh, well, just about 5 minutes were done from checking the name, going through the biometric verification, and then doing the voting process. It was just 5 minutes and you're good to go. My expectation is that we'll have a peaceful exercise across the Eastern region today.
At 6 a.m. And then when I came here, in fact, the officials were already here. So I joined the queue to wait for my turn so that I can also exercise my civic responsibility. When I came here, the atmosphere is very peaceful and there was no hindrances. There was no confusion. There was no chaos. Everything was done in a perfect manner. Those who came, everybody was comporting himself. I mean, you can see everybody is trying to at least allow peace, to rule the exercise.
Apart from journalists monitoring the election, there are other observers such as Cordeo and ECOWAS election observers who are also present. Reporting for GH1 Television and Starr FM, this is Kojo Ansa, Eastern Region, Kofroidia.
And Kojo Ansa will join us over the telephone line for some updates in relation to the situation in the Eastern region. He mentions to us that there are other observers there as well. Kojo Ansa?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. And in your interactions with one of the persons who were there, you were asking about whether there had been attempts to, provide food or some other inducements to get people to vote. What else can you report in relation to that and other developments there?
Well, so we've not seen anything like that. However, there's been, I would say, it remains rumor because I've not seen it with my eyes. Some people were claiming that there were some individuals who are talking to the delegates outside of the jurisdiction or the scene of the voting center, and they are trying to induce them. But then there was one vehicle that we saw a number of people gathered around the vehicle. So the NDC guys were attempting to raise concern to attack the vehicle, but we've seen that the vehicle has moved out of the presence of the regional police headquarters here. So apart from that, we've not recorded any incident at all regarding such inducement.
Has the exercise been smooth generally?
Yes, so far, the exercise has been smooth. When you look at the polling station A, we have 509 registered voters, and out of that, as of 11:50, 269 have voted, and polling station B, 508 registered voters. Out of that, 296 have also voted at that polling station. So that has been efficient and seamless. We've not encountered any technical challenge with regard to the DVDs, and there are lots of more voters in the queues. The two queues here at these polling stations, so we can see the enthusiasm is high. The NDC is expecting about 80% voter turnout. The NDC says, MPP also says that they're expecting about 90% over voter turnout.
All right. Kojo Kojo, so yesterday, the Eastern Regional Director of the Electoral Commission said that they were going to take receipt or delivery of the ballot papers that will be used for the main election today. Have they received it?
We've not had official communication from the EC whether or not they've received the ballot papers because this is where the special voting exercise is ongoing. It's where the materials mostly arrive for distribution. But since we came here in the morning, we've not seen any such exercise. So it seems to suggest that the materials have not arrived yet.
Thank you very much, Kojo Ansah. He is our Eastern Regional correspondent. Let's move to the Western Region, where the Western Regional Minister and the Member of Parliament for Takoradi, Kobi Ochredako Mensah, has visited the Takoradi Special Voting Center and gave his assessment of the process so far. Have a listen.
And a lot of the soldiers have voted. Over 100 have voted this morning. And we hope that the rest, what's on our roads, about 400. So we expect all of them to be coming by in the afternoon. Secondly, people are voting because they believe that we have delivered on a major promise we made to Ghanaians, which is the free SHS. The essence of the free SHS basically is to take people out of poverty. Because like the Mandela said, it is only education that the rich man's son and the poor man's daughter can have equal access to the presidency of any nation. So we want to use this as a tool to eradicate poverty. Because it's through secondary education that you can go to university. You can do your professional courses. You can be a master welder. You can be a doctor. You can be a nurse, whatever. And we want that type of professions to be appearing in everybody's home. But if you have not passed through free SHS, how can you do it? In Ghana right now, in Western region, we used to have only 13,000 being admitted to schools every year. Because of free SHS, the number has shot up to 65,000. So technically, whose child should be left behind? And when NDC is telling everybody that they are going to collapse the free SHS, they are going to review free SHS, it's all because they are afraid that people will be able to get out of poverty. And they can use their mind to send them away from all those their propaganda and lies that they lie to us. So
you had the Western Regional Minister, Kobi Ochredako Mensah. Let's go over the telephone line and speak to SK Boating. He is in the Western region monitoring the exercise for us. We'll get an update in relation to what is happening in the area at the moment. Beyond the Western Regional Minister speaking to the issue, giving his assessment and talking about why people are voting, what else has been happening in the region is still the Starr Midday News on Starr 103.5 FM. We're working the telephone lines to reach the correspondent in the Western region to bring us some more with regard to this particular issue. You're still listening to the Starr Midday News on Starr 103.5 FM. Let's turn our attention to issues relating to Office of the Special Prosecutor, because the office has begun investigations into the over 40,000 ghost names allegation against the National Service Authority. It follows a petition by media entity, the Fourth Estate. Although the media organization is yet to publish its findings following an injunction by the NSA, Starr News has cited a copy of the petition to the Office of the Special Prosecutor on the matter. Enoch Edem Kojo is with our research desk, and he's joining me in the studio with the details. Edem Kojo, what are the findings of this investigative piece by the Fourth Estate, which has eventually been transmitted to the Office of the Special Prosecutor?
Yes, Nadidi. So, rightly so, this expose, as it was to uncover or was to bring to light some rot that had been covered at the National Service Authority. Now, it says this petition, I'm just reading the expert petition, then I move into the details. The Media Foundation says this petition follows months of investigations by the Media Foundation of West Africa's Independent Investigative Journalism Project, Fourth Estate, into activities of the National Service Authority, which have revealed a series of corruption-related activities perpetrated within the NSA that deprive the state of millions of cedis each year since 2018. So now let me go through the 7 main issues. The first issue is the creation and use of thousands of fake student index numbers that are assigned to supposed graduates from various tertiary institutions. So over here, we know the typical tertiary institutions we go to. What the Media Foundation says is seen is that fake index numbers have been created for people and has been used to get them onto the NSS scheme for which they are receiving some salaries from. The next issue in here is huge difference between figures announced to the public by the NSA and figures represented to Parliament. So they bring some data here that shows that since 2018, there's always been a bloat of over 40,000 each year. So when they announce to the public that X number of people have been enrolled onto their scheme, when the final figures get to Parliament, the number goes up by 40,000, which they attribute to good names. Then enrollment and posting of overaged persons. The petition includes ID cards of people who are in their 70s, their 80s, and others per the date of birth that was used to register. Then the fourth issue has to do with use of ineligible and fake ID cards for enrollment. So if you've been in the space for some time, you would have heard a lot about government saying that the Ghana card has been used to clear a lot of goods names. As the Ghana card since 2022 is supposed to be the only official document that is used for registration to be a national service personnel. However, the Fortis investigation shows that people use driver's license, people use national ID cards, and even school IDs in the database, for which they say it's actually just used to put in ghost names and bloat the system. So that's the fourth issue. There are 7 issues.
And are there individuals mentioned in this particular report?
Yes, so there are copies of names. I didn't want to, well, not of people whose names or who have applied. So, for example, with the old age, there's a man here. I'm trying to get the name. So there's a man here, Mahamudu Ali. His date of birth, per what he submitted, is 1st of January 1942, which shows that he's 82 years.
Hey, Daddy.
But he's in there as a national service personnel. Now, if you move to the ID card, if someone uses his voter ID card, and Abdullahi Aminu with his number in here instead of the national service card, someone else used a driving license also, and some random documents. There are a lot of things in here. So that is also one side of the coin. Then the issue number 5, the use of one ineligible ID card for multiple enrollment of different persons with different biodata. So what the Fortis says is that notice that there's one ID card that is illegal, but that ID card is used to register multiple people with different biodata, so different dates and all that, just to get them onto the system. There's also an issue of identity theft, where they noticed that one picture that was used in there is actually a Kenyan. Yes. So they did a reverse Google search of an image, and then they found out that the person whose picture was used is actually a Kenyan human resource practitioner, where his details, and then this has been used locally, given a name Kwame Donko inside the system that has been used. So that's issue number 5. Issue number 6. There's also another issue of the marketplace scheme. So if you know the national service, what you know is that now there is some grant, you can take a loan to buy some appliances. What they actually say, or what they've uncovered, is that the scheme is used to enroll thousands of fake service personnel, of which general service personnel who have not purchased any items will now have their allowances deducted, and then put under that they have bought it. Meanwhile, there are a lot of fake people whose names are inside the system. Then there is also another interesting one: enrollment and posting of thousands of supposed service personnel from unaccredited institutions. So we know the universities that are accredited. Now, Fortis says thousands of supposed national service personnel are enrolled from unaccredited institutions such as the Gbangwa Arabic College of Education and the Mamprugu Islamic College of Education, both in the Northeast region. So an entire school, the school is not accredited, but they put them on the national service scheme, not through the main method, but through the back door. And then finally, they say that once they started investigating this, they picked the information that the service or the authority started deleting IT messages, started deleting database.
Started deleting the tracks or traces.
Yes, so that is why they are petitioning the OSP to say that indeed there should be an immediate investigation into the IT system of them. There's a final one. They are also calling for an independent audit into payments that has been made from 2018 up until this year 2024, because they believe that all these people actually, while not doing any form of service, have gained some amount and the state have lost millions through this scheme.
Thank you very much. Adam Kujo, he is with our research desk. Nanama Akwa is here with your reactions on social media. Nanama, what are people saying?
It's not millions, it's billions. It's a cacophony of issues now. When we go over to X, we have Rahel Powell, Gifty Owari and MPP have turned the National Service Scheme into a playground for corruption by placing non-service personnel on the payroll. This is unacceptable and a betrayal of public trust. But then again, Richella says that they existed before Akufo-Addo, pre-Mahama times. They are Africans and they are greedy. When we move over to Nana Kofi, during NDC time, something similar happened. I was doing NS at that time. Maybe it's time to look at the civil servants and not just the politicians. Jeff thinks that they will not do that investigation because they are all corrupt. When we see Jamel, he says that he asks, is Mahama done with the investigation of Airbus, SADA and double salaries? Yes, Ghanaians have a short memory, or this is a different Mahama. Then we also have Theo, who says, but she doesn't look corrupt, or talking about Gifty Owari. I'm sure she couldn't resist the pressure and bidding from her bosses. Efo says, the funny thing be say, she no be the only one chopping the money, but sake of she be head of that department, and she go carry all for her head. Then we have Alvin, who says, simply 2.7 billion Ghana cedis. A day for accountability will soon come. The comments are many. The time is short. My name is Nanama Akwa. Now, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Nanama Akwa, with the reactions on social media to this development coming in from the National Service Authority. This is the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. Stories you have brought your way so far. Special voting exercise underway in the western and eastern regions after the exercise was rescheduled from the initial December 2. We have been to the eastern region to gauge what the situation is on the ground at the moment. Also, a head office of the special prosecutor begins investigations into National Service Authority's alleged case of over 40,000 ghost names. Also, a head family of late Ebuakwa North MP JB Dankwedu unhappy about the outcome of the trial following the 4-3 not guilty verdict by the jury. And later on the campaign trail, with the two major political parties, the NDC and the NPP, holding their final rallies 10 kilometers, just 10 kilometers apart. And in neighboring constituencies, Ghana Police Service deploys 2 helicopters as an added layer of security. Details of these stories and many more coming up shortly. Do stay tuned in. Yeah, welcome back. You're still listening to the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. Now, let's return to the studio and speak to Razak Swali. He is the president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana. And now, earlier today, they issued a statement in relation to the payment of their allowances. Interesting, the timing you are making this, interesting in terms of the timing at which you are making this demand. What exactly is the issue?
Yeah, I think thank you so much, and then good day to all your lovely listeners, and also to all teacher trainees across the length and breadth of the country. It is true that you are getting this now, but I would also be quick to add that it is not actually now that we are going publicly to say that the payment of our allowances is long overdue, because we have been engaging with all the appropriate stakeholders behind the scene to ensure that the payment of the teacher training allowances is something that has been done. It is quite worrying to note that for the past semester we just spent in in the college, which ended on October 11th. For during those period at all, for the entire 4 months, the allowances has not been paid. The feeding has been a challenge in the colleges of education, and after that, after we left, we went for vacation from October 11. We have actually not received payment for the semester, and then the new semester have actually begun again. Level 400 students are currently doing their micro teaching exercises. House program, and they are hard tight because the little allowances that will come to help us to be able to prepare for our academic activities, and also for level 100 to level 300 to also prepare for the academic semester that is coming, is actually a problem. So that's why you see us now, and then we are really not really sure or confident about whatever the outcome of the December 7th election is going to be. That's why we are demanding that our allowances be paid before we go into the election.
And like I said, the timing of it, most often labor people who are in training and stuff, they throw in the threat of a strike or demands of such nature. During the election year, when we are at the dying embers of the game, you are confident that your calls will be heeded and the allowances will be paid?
It's the allowance, the teacher training allowances was introduced by this government. It was reintroduced by this government, and it's a commitment they've made. We have always appreciated their effort for being able to restore the teacher training allowances and then making a commitment to ensuring it. And it is a commitment they've made to the people of Ghana. It is a commitment they've made to the teacher trainees in all the public colleges of education. And we are very confident that it is something that they should keep. Even though we are in a very high period where election is just by the corner on Saturday, but it is something that was assured, and it is something that was promised to the teacher trainees, the teacher trainees across all the colleges, public colleges of education in Ghana. And we are very confident that the government should uphold their commitment, because it is her own commitment we are just asking her to fulfill.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much for speaking to us. We're grateful for your time. You had us engage Razak Swale. He's a president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, and they are making a case for the allowances to be paid to them. And so if government is listening, this will be the perfect time to intervene in this situation. Now let's bring you the very latest in the world of sports, and Jones Saji is here. Good afternoon to you, Jones. What's in sports?
Right, so we'll start off from Kurt Okreku, GFA president, who actually spoke yesterday when the GFA partnered with the National Road Safety Authority to sensitize football clubs, fans, and the general public on road safety in a ceremony held at the GFA's head office in Accra yesterday. Football clubs under the FA were taking through various refresher training courses. Reps from the Road Safety Authority, the MTTU of the Ghana Police, and the Fire Service educated the football clubs on tips to reduce road accidents. Speaking at the ceremony, president of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okreku, believes that the partnership is mutually beneficial one, and has urged the football community to be ambassadors of the road safety campaign.
That finally, we have arrived here today. I think this partnership is mutually beneficial. It concerns everybody here and beyond. It concerns everybody in the football ecosystem and beyond. It concerns every member of our family and beyond. And it's a reason why all of us must pay attention to what is happening today, and to go out from this venue as proud ambassadors of the road safety campaign, especially during this time that we are heading into national elections.
Now, the LPGA in golf has updated its gender policy prohibiting transgender women who have undergone male puberty from competing in women's golf tours starting in 2025. This rule will also apply to events like the US Women's Open. The policy change comes after protests from female players, including 275, who signed a petition calling for stricter guidelines. Previously, transgender women could compete if they underwent gender-affirming surgery and met hormone therapy requirements. The new policy aims to maintain competitive fairness, as male puberty is believed to provide performance advantages. Other sports like swimming and athletics have made similar changes. That should do it for sports. My name is Jones Aji.
Thank you very much, Jones, with the very latest in the world of sports. Before we bring you the campaign trail, Family of the late Ebuakwa North MP JB Dankwa-Edu are unhappy with the outcome of the trial. It follows the 4-3 not guilty verdict by the jury. The 7-member jury returned an inconclusive or a hung not guilty verdict for the prime suspect in the murder of the NP. The decision of the jury means Daniel Esiedu, who is popularly known as Sexy Dondong, will have to face a retrial. Now here is brother of the late MP, Yao. I beg your pardon, this is rather the lawyer of the accused in question, Daniel Esiedu, Yao Dankwa, who is the lawyer of Daniel Esiedu.
Defend this case. I want to thank all of them. Thank the Almighty God for the work that we put in and His grace and mercy upon our lives, giving us the wisdom to be able to prosecute this case. I want to thank all the researchers that we have, in UK from our firm that have been working tirelessly to ensure that we get our points across. I am so grateful today that the prosecution came to say that my client is guilty of committing this heinous crime. Now, 4 of the jurors believe our story, believe our defense, and the other 3 seem to, support what the prosecution are saying. Now, it is now a hung jury. My client is still not convicted of any crime, and no court has convicted him. He's an innocent person who has been languishing in custody for nearly 9 years. February 16, 2025 will be 9 years since February 8 will be 9 years since his incarceration, and all he's doing is
Let's now hear from the brother of the deceased, George Chum Berima.
Unfortunately, this is a sad day for the country and indeed for myself and my brother and my family. After 8 years of this case going on and my brother's painful death, the government, in this case the Attorney General's office, was not able to put up a strong case to convince a jury of 7 to convict Esiedu of robbery and of murder. I think it is quite sad that this has happened to us. It's a painful moment and a painful day for myself, for my brother, and I believe also for all the family members and the children of my late brother.
You had the brother of the late JB Dankwa-Edu, George Chum Berima Edu, speaking to our legal affairs correspondent Mutala Inusa yesterday after the jury delivered its verdict in relation to the case. As you may be aware now, it was a hung jury, which requires that the case will be retried. This is the Star Midday News on Star 103.5 FM. Time now to bring you the campaign trio. The most anticipated day of the year is almost here. With barely 48 hours to go to the December 7 polls, political parties today are expected to climax all activities with the 2 leading political parties, the NDC and the NPP, set to hold their final rallies in Accra, 10 kilometers apart. While the NDC is taking over Medina with its final rally theme, Resetting Ghana, Let's finish strong. Their main contenders, the NPP, are storming Ayawaso West Wagon constituency with the possibilities of victory rally at the University of Ghana Sports Directorate Park. Both parties say all is set for a successful event. Here is a national youth organizer of the NDC, George Opariado, who is confident the police will provide adequate security despite the proximity of both events.
The NDC is very much ready for its final rally tomorrow. All preparations have been done. Our stage is set. We've informed our constituencies in Greater Accra. And as I speak to you, we are ready to go. But I want to add that this situation that we find ourselves in today was avoidable. The NDC announced its venue 2 clear days before the NPP put out this communication and also informed the police. When we announced our date and our venue, we wrote to the Ghana Police Service and informed them appropriately. Our expectations were that once the NPP informed them that they wanted to use the Legon Park, the normal thing to do or the reasonable thing to do was to tell them to look for a different location. Because what the police is saying, we only pray. The NDC is a peace-loving political party and a law-abiding party as such. We only pray that there will be no clashes because I don't know how the police is going to determine who an NDC supporter is or who an NPP supporter is. And those are the major routes people are going to use. Whether you like it or yes, you cannot get through Legon without not passing through Madina.
You heard there the national youth organizer of the opposition National Democratic Congress.
The Zongo Junction areas. Also, NPP supporters will be coming from the Dome direction towards Legon, will go right at the Hacho Junction towards Gempa, and then access the University of Ghana campus from there. In the case of the NDC, their supporters coming from Tetekwashi, to avoid them going through Legon, will take right at Shiashi towards the UPSA and then take left to hit the main Medina Accra road. Also, NDC supporters who will be coming from Dome will take left at the KFC junction on the Hacho road towards the Wisconsin direction. This will make it very easy for them to get to Zongo Junction without having to go through Legon. And in all these situations, our officers will be on the ground to offer direction and to assist the various groups get to their location with ease.
You had the Director of Police Public Affairs, ACP Grace Ansa Akrofi. Now let's go to the grounds for the very latest with regard to what is happening. First, at the University of Ghana campus, in the Zurich Park. That is in the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency. Echo Boachi is there for us. Echo, what is happening at the moment?
As of now, fleet of cars are entering the University of Ghana through the Okonglo gate. For the past 20 minutes, we've seen, first of all, motorcycles coming through, followed by fleet of cars, all chanting Dr. Bawumia coming to the rally. I spoke to one of the members of the campaign branding team who said they weren't really expecting people to come through at 12 p.m. because they wanted to set a relaxed tone for this final rally, which would extend through to the late hours of tonight.
And in terms of party paraphernalia preparations, what do you see?
So right from the street that leads to the Congo gates of the University of Ghana, the whole place has been branded with flags of both Dr. Mamudu Baumia and Lydia Sarah Malhassan, who happens to be the MP of the area in which all this is happening. And some trucks have been lined up at the side of the street towards the Congo gate with branded Dr. Mamudu Baumia on it. And also you have people who are standing at vantage points waving the flags of the NDC. And also there are traders over here with lots of paraphernalia selling people who may have not come through with years to the ground.
All right, okay. Originally, this is supposed to start at 1 p.m., right?
It was supposed to start at 12 at noon.
Okay. Well, we are in for a long day, aren't we?
Yes.
Thank you very much, Eko Boachi, bringing us up to speed with what is happening in the Ayawaso West Wagon constituency, specifically on the University of Ghana, Legon campus. The NDC also prepares to hold their final rally. Hi, Obed. How are things looking in Medina?
Right, so now when you come here at Medina, the rally is shaping, and sympathizers of the National Democratic Congress are trooping in their numbers, getting ready for the rally. I earlier spoke to the Deputy Communications Officer of the party, Godwin Akogan, and he informed me that the flag bearer of the party will be showing up very soon, currently in Ashanti region, and will finish up with a store in that region and will join the rally by 3 o'clock. When you come here, you see party paraphernalia being showcased, food stuff also sold here. I must also add that the traffic situation here is very, very, very huge, and so those who want to come to the Zura Park here in Medina must set off quickly to avoid the traffic.
What is the general atmosphere like?
Right, so our party people are very happy and they are waiting for Saturday, for the election day. When we come here, they interacting with some of them. They are saying that this time round, they are going to make sure that the ballots are protected. And so the high spirit over here by members of the National Democratic Congress.
All right, Obed, thank you very much. Obed Kingaglo on the ground in Medina, monitoring the NDC's final rally. break the duopoly by the NPP and the NDC. He spoke to me earlier on the Morning Star. Have a listen.
He is breaking the duopoly.
I'm
winning the elections. I'm the next president of Ghana.
You are very confident of that.
100% confident. I'll win the election. Most people have been saying something in common. They've been saying that we're not going to vote. We're not going to vote.
They said we're not going to vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not going to vote. But seeing me, they've changed their mind to vote for me. Majority of them.
Mm-hmm.
They've made their mind. Some, after listening to my message, decided to change and vote for me. Those who were even thinking of voting for the duopoly, they decided to change and vote for. So I'm 100% confident that this election, I win the election.
So the confidence is coming from what the people are telling you?
Exactly.
Or it's your conviction?
Yeah, what the people have been telling me is one, and two, what I know that plans God has for me. And his plan is that he has made me president of Ghana, and I'm going to be president of Ghana. I'll win the elections.
So in the instance that you do not win,
it doesn't come in because I'm winning the elections.
Are you being realistic?
Yeah, more than the word realistic. I will win the elections. I will win it. This election is done deal. I'll win it. From here to Saturday is not far. Just a day away. I'll get there. We all get there. And then you voted already, yeah?
I haven't voted. No, I couldn't vote in the special voting, so I'll vote on the day.
Oh, then definitely you are going to vote for me.
I'm sure when I get to the booth, I'll decide who I'll vote for.
Yeah, I know the Holy Spirit will convince you to vote for the right candidate.
So then again, is it the Holy Spirit that convinces?
Right candidate.
So then again, is it the Holy Spirit that convinces people to vote for candidates, or it is your message to the people that would get them to vote for you? Which is which for you?
Remember, God is the God of the Spirit. Okay? Somebody had a dream. When he woke up in the morning, he has forgotten the dream. And then he was looking for people to tell him what he saw in the dream, and then also give him an interpretation of the dream. It took the Holy Spirit to reveal to Joseph and also Daniel. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So Daniel had to go and explain to the king, okay, of Babylon. And then also Joseph had to go and explain to the king of Egypt. That's the Pharaoh, okay? You know, that's how God works. The Holy Spirit, you cannot do away with the Holy Spirit. The world that we live in is not only the physical. I mean, we live in the spiritual realm. So anything that happens in the physical happens in the spiritual realm before you say it in reality. So I can tell you boldly that this election is done deal. I will win the elections. Nothing will stop that.
You had the presidential candidate of the Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG, Kofi Akpaloo, expressing confidence that he will win this. Now, Zangos have always been a cardinal point for political campaigns each election nearing year. You will find every politician identifying with a Zango or recounting having lived in a Zango community. When they need votes, the promises cut across. Building mosques, granting scholarships, and jobs for Zango youth. Rebuilding Nima into a villaggio. How did that where did that go? Where did that promise go? Like where did it go? And many more. The Nanado Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration took it a notch higher, establishing a Zango and inner city ministry and a Zango development fund. But well, I'm sure you're hearing me see a lot of Zango, sort of the Zongo you are using. Well, the natives tell us that it's actually Zango and not Zongo. So I am not brothalizing it, please. But as a narrative of neglect and underdevelopment, Zango's changed that much. how are Zangos observing this election, especially as the flag bearers of the two dominant political parties are all from the northern part of Ghana? Colleague Ivan Heathcote Fumador has been to some prominent Zango communities in the Ashanti region and explores the subject in the following feature.
It's your problem, it's your problem.
We don't have any proper water and toilet facilities in Tafuzongo.
The same thing. Nina Binizongo ha. And the MPP for money abre, San NDC for so any abre.
The MPP and the NDC are all seriously campaigning, but we gain nothing when we vote for them.
Tibino. Unganishi, no answer Kotoaba.
Barkisu Ahmed, a 54-year-old mother of 4, has lived in Tafuzongo all her life. She is bothered with a lot of challenges confronting the Zongo community. Barkisu, who used to work as a hawker, is now jobless. She lost her working capital to bad sales.
I was a trader, but I lost all my money, so I am unemployed.
With 4 children, the eldest 30 and the youngest 11, Berkisu says she can barely sleep, thinking about the future of her children in a generally challenging economy where unemployment is high.
Our
Zongo children have taken to drugs because they are jobless. Some of our youth are graduates with no jobs. I went to look for a job for my son, who completed Polytechnic, but they asked me to pay 5,000 Ghana cedis. I don't have that money.
50 million.
Berkisu's concerns mirror the dominant narrative about stark developmental challenges in Zango communities. A few meters from Berkisu's house is the most popular spot in Tafuzongo, 745.
745, GBC2, no more sports run up. And the Hana boys in our group will be able to 745 Tamuno, and Ayama Akahatia, if I have 745.
The male hegemony dominates. Men, both young and old, sit around whiling away the day with no jobs. Awudugambo Yakubu, a truck driver, is worried. The lack of sustainable jobs in the Zango communities is exposing a large number of teeming Zango youth to vices.
These are youth who are idle. They have taken to vices to fend for themselves. It is dangerous walking through this place because they will attack you.
Many young men in the Zongos would usually end up as drivers, mechanics, rickshaw riders and repairers, laborers and menial workers as a result of the low level of education here. The women, on the other hand, will either trade, work as cleaners, carry loads in the market, or learn a craft, usually sewing and beading. Abiba Adams is a master seamstress, training many Zango ladies who barely have enough funds to pay themselves through training. She is yet to hear of any government intervention for youth desirous of acquiring a technical or vocational skill.
Midday means Midday say it means so even master, but my side
A cattle ranch has become a hiding place for most of the unemployed and idle youth. Apart from tending the cattle, community dwellers say this area, which is now deserted, gets busy harboring narcotic drug peddlers.
Apart from the boys near no, yes, a mobile no waha. O toilet in who's here, o correct boys omugo smoking qua tramo ninasifo.
Today, inshallah, by the grace of God, we are establishing the Zongo Development Fund.
The Akufo-Addo Bawumia government laid particular emphasis on Zangos, designating a whole ministry of Zango and inner city development in its first term, later to be converted into an administrative office in the second term of the NPP.
The story of the Zongo Development Fund started with Alhaji Aliyu Mahama. We have to do things to let the Zongo appreciate that the MPP is not anti-Zongo, as the propaganda was at the time. This is why when we brought that suggestion to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, he immediately said, that is a good idea. Let us put it in the manifesto.
A 219 million Zongo Development Fund was voted for basic infrastructure, youth employment and skill training, health, security and tourism in Zongo communities. Rahman Al-Hassan, an elder in the Zongo community, says he's yet to see footprints of these monies reportedly expended to better the lot of Zongo dwellers.
Apart from park apart from me, different.
Apart from this AstroTurf, we have seen nothing. For us in the Zongos, we no longer take the politicians seriously.
Politicians for the others say they are for say serious.
Building of basic infrastructure like toilet facilities, water systems and drains constituted a major area of expenditure of the Zongo Development Fund. However, in Tafo Zongo, a huge drain along which several clustered buildings are located has become a torment, breeding mosquitoes and posing a health threat to residents.
I don't understand why they have abandoned this drain. It has claimed lives. Anyone who says government is doing anything for Azongo is a liar.
And that is a report put together by colleague Ivan Heathcote Fumado. We'll bring you the full report in our subsequent bulletin. This is a very well done feature by Ivan Heathcote Fumado. This is a campaign trail on Star 103.5 FM. Just before we go, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan has called on all Ghanaians, particularly key stakeholders, to uphold free and fair practices in the upcoming December 7 general election to maintain the country's peace. Speaking to the media after a meeting with the National Election Security Task Force, the founder of the West Africa Elders Forum emphasized the importance of accepting electoral outcomes. He urged all candidates to be prepared to concede defeat, reminding them that there can only be one winner in every election.
We want Ghana to conduct a very, very successful elections. Ghana is the one model of democracy in Africa, and we want the country to maintain that position. We believe that this election will not be different. We want election that will be peaceful, election that will be transparent, election that will be credible, and all the stakeholders will be happy. And just like the IG will say, we should plead with our own colleagues who are politicians. Of course, for elections, only one person will win. So whenever you are going for election, you should be ready to lose or to win. There are some people who feel they must win, and if they don't win, then the heavens will come down. No, heavens will not come down. We are all mortals. We will all pass away. It's only the country that will stay. And we should all do what people will remember us for. That is positive things, not bringing crisis into our country. So we plead with the politicians to take election as a game. It's not a war. And if you lose, maybe some other time you will win. And for you, the media practitioners, you have a big role to play, because most of the conflicts we have are misinformation. And if you don't give the correct information out, then of course you are creating a situation where people will fight over nothing. Misinformation is one of the things that every side is fighting, especially relating to elections.
Oh, when I see the stars in the sky, I feel as though the heavens are calling. Oh, the way that they shine so bright.